Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the part 2 of my weird dango pop-up creation. I hope that since the first video has been released, it will be able to give you some insights on how to pursue a career as an artist itself. And today, without further ado, we'll just carry on with the part 2 on how to finish up the whole artwork itself. So I hope that you guys can still remember on my 4-step, we actually covered the first step sketch, the second step ink. So right now we are going to cover the third step, which will be color, and lastly will be the background finishing. So as a continuation of our previous video, we have already completed the inking, and right now we are going to just go on and put some colors into it. As for the dangles itself, right, traditional dango will always be pink on the top, sort of milky white or yellow orange on the second, and the last will be a matcha green or green. So I'm going to keep the original color aesthetics the same. As you can see from here, all my unique dangos have their own individual characters, but I just want their face to be the main feature, so I'm not going to mess around too much with the colors itself. So what I'm doing right now is basically to lay down the base color first. Once I finish up the base colors and I'm actually happy with how it looks, then I will go in and add on the layers itself. I work quite, what do I say, organically. I will always just put in some colors and see whether does it match. After, when I do the shading itself, I will actually tone the color down, use off the original colors itself, as you can see more from this video itself. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go over this section really quick, filling up the section and then cleaning up as I go along. Because why? I'm just very careless in this way, you know, especially when I'm actually trying to do something like this. Because at the end of the day, this will not be the final piece of art that I'll be passing to the clients. I mean, I'm just doing this for this video's sake itself. But if you're talking about traditional creation or really like commercial creation, right? Normally, this is the kind of color sketch, a very rough or semi-finished color sketch I'll pass to the client to give them the final approval before I go in and then I start to nail down and clean up everything. Because throughout the steps and the process of creation, I will always go back and forth with the client to double check with them to ensure that they have a clear understanding of what's the final art piece supposed to look like. I don't want them to, you know, at the end of the day, unsure of the colors that I'm going to put in, or especially when it comes to their own company customized color. You know, they have their own signature color. Like for example, Tiffany and Co, they have their own unique mixture of teal blue. You get what I mean? Something along that way. So we have to be very careful, especially when we're taking commission art or we're signing contracts with other companies itself. We want to ensure that the work we do for them is stress-free. Because usually when it comes to this kind of concept art or artwork, right, they will need our work first before they are able to put everything into production. You get what I mean? So I'll just leave it to you all to check out this section first and how I clean up the artwork and painting itself. So I'm just cleaning up the rest of the scraps itself and ensuring that my color tone is correct. I'm just going to fast forward this section because this one is quite very basic. It's just only laying down the colors on the correct selection itself and how I do it. And after that, I will go in and fill in the smaller section with a different tone, like for example the hollow eyes. Yeah, I'm actually most of my artwork feature characters with hollow eyes because I want to give them a very unique look and also outwardly look. You get my point? It makes people think, how does it seize out from two blank eyes? This inspiration basically comes from bowling balls. I'm not joking. I used to went to you know, like bowling session with my peers a long time ago, and the holes on bowling balls always creep me out. and I kind of like to use fear factors in my artwork, and bowling balls, the finger holes become one of the signature eye socket that I'll put in my character. So I'm just cleaning this thing up, and I'll be doing something unique to the key. 1 to 2 dangles, because I want them to have the rappers vibe itself. So I'll be throwing them some gold grills. So from here, I'm just trying to save time. Not going to just go and paint them individually. I'll just magic wand the same section, and I'll just pour the ink over. Save the progress. And if you guys are unsure why this software look very different from your normal Adobe Illustrator, because this is a manga creation software called Clip Studio Pro. I mean, we do use Adobe Illustrator in the studio, but I mean, for my main setup, I have this Clip Studio installed, because sometimes we do have to draw out some comics or manga for our clients, especially they wanted something for their books or their convention leaflets, or convention booklet, you can call it. They will need to show people how to work from one section to another, and they do not want to use normal photos. Then of course they will come and look for us and say, hey, are you able to create a short comics inside our booklet, a 2 to 3 page on how to watch to which section, so on and so forth. So normally that's what we do. So Clip Studio Paint is the main software that we're using it for this kind of task. But if you are an aspiring manga artist, you wanted to draw digital arts, right? Clip Studio Paint is basically the one and only go-to that you wanted to use if you are using it for your manga creations. If you're talking about comics, traditional comics wise, you will need to have your penciler, your inker, all this and that. But nowadays, right, a lot of job has been done fairly digitally. So normally, and small indie studio itself, normally the manga artist or the comic artist is the one in charge of penciling and also the inking, while another person will be in charge of the coloring, so on and so forth. So it all depends on how you work. But when you're starting off, right, normally it's a one-person job. That's what I use. And one more thing I want to check with y'all is, do y'all guys love this Dango art piece? If y'all are interested, maybe you can drop the comment down below. I see whether I might be able to produce some merch for you all with this, maybe on a t-shirt. Maybe you could, you want me to make them into stickers itself? Just comment below. And I will also see whether there's this short series, right, on this kind of pop-up creation or any kind of illustration that could practically allow you to make some money over in Etsy or anything. Just drop a comment, let me know. So I will see from the response from your views and comment to decide whether should I keep producing this series itself. Because I know that a lot of people, they are unsure of how this kind of artworks that you find from t-shirts or any other place else is made from. Normally it's from a studio like us or maybe art students, so on and so forth. But we also have cases where our design was stolen, by some people. I do not want to name who. It has been quite a while. That's why normally we don't post those kind of more unique design or we call commercial backup. Because sometimes when we do commercial work, we will be drafting a few designs at one time. So the client will already pick 1 or 2. That is the one that we will charge them for. And then the rest will go into our storage. So most of the color has been filled in. I'm just going to do the shading now. So same thing also, in order to save time, I will just block out some section. I will just go freehand on the design. I don't really pay too much attention to how the shadows fall, because right now we are actually creating something that is just mainly used as a concept, or It's just going to give an idea or a vibe itself. But when you're creating something like this, you're throwing a lot of logic out of the window, truth be told, because you want to have your own style. You want it to be very free. You get what I mean? So I'm not really very anxious of recreating, artistic masterpiece. Like shadow must fall in this way, with the light source falling over here. I know. I paint Warhammer myself. I know about object source lighting, all this and that, because those are part of the things that we learn. But for this kind of pop-up itself, right, I'm gonna set them, somewhere in the open space where there's no natural light source. You can call them space dango for all I care. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving it a vibe which I feel that is correct. I'm just going around and adding in the color, like maybe 2 tones down, building up the section, and once I'm done, I'll move on to another color, so on and so forth. So just listen to the music and see the progress itself. Alright, now I'm just painting up the teeth, finishing with the teeth, and I'm going to drop the few golden tooth from one or two of the dangles here. And I think once that's done, we should be able to just proceed to the background, the ending of the background itself. It's actually at this stage right now is almost close to the end of the artwork itself. So I'm just gonna move around and ensure that everything is okay, laid in properly. And I'm just going to start off with the teeth itself and see whether I might be able to get it into a more like a mimic gold. Because you're drawing it on a flat surface. So I wanted to bring out the feeling of gold on a flat surface. I will actually go a little bit more freehand. Like how you see a normal grills, because gold is very reflective, it's being polished properly. So normally I will go with at least a tone, maybe an orange tone, to laying the line work first. I'm not going to pick something that is very rough. It's just something that goes well with the yellow background itself. So as you can see from here, I'm just going to lay down a few thin strokes without any reason, without any logic behind on how the stroke should be. I just go, just go by the feel. I feel that it's correct, then it's fine. If it's not, then there will be another issue. But I just go with it and see how the whole thing is. So just going with it, and I'll just bring out the effect. Okay, I'll leave you guys and see how I do it. Okay, that's more or less done. I think that is roughly around it. I think that we should be able to move on to the next section. I just have a one last look before I put in the background. I find that this is okay. Maybe I just need to add some shadow to the Dango stick, and I think that should be done. And here I am adding some, like eerie red eye effect on the eyes itself. Okay, I think this is more or less done. I'll just go in and add in some extra line work that I wanted to add to give them a little bit more personality. Because for you're talking about this kind of artwork itself, right? Lines is very important. But I suddenly use cross hatching, because cross hatching is normally something that I will use if I'm going to create a very maybe a superhero portrait or anything. But you're talking about street arts or this kind of pop arts itself, I don't really need to. I just need something to give a vibe, give it a little bit, like something tangible. Yeah, fine, to recreate a certain sense of depth. So I like to go with straight lines, like this kind of lines I'm creating, just strokes of lines without any measurement. Just go freehand, give it a vibe to it. So just write basic lines. Sometimes people is very fascinating about how our creative workflow is, but actually, to be frank, is a lot of time is just involved in reading a lot of books, checking a lot of other artists' work, or like maybe just go out and look at things. I mean, until now, I still have this habit of bringing out my cameras everywhere I go. Why? Because I do not know whether I'll be seeing anything unique as I was walking around. I mean, nowadays not so much since the pandemic hits, but I still have this hobby of bringing it out. And since my previous accident, I'm not able to really carry too much heavy stuff, so I'll just bring out my I'll either capture a picture from my phone, or if I need to capture a video, I'll just bust out my DJI Pocket and I'll just film on the spot. And here I'm adding some teeth line to make them look, sharp. For no reason. It's just only they look cool. You wanted people to look at artwork and say, hey, that's cool. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding a few last step to the overall look itself, and after that we can call it done. So here I am getting the things ready. just let you all see the video itself. So now the dango is done. I was just doing some organizing. It's just only a habit, you know, just making an extra copy to put it aside. So I will not, whatever I do to the original copy, it will not be affected. It's always good to do a backup this way, so that, because when you are doing this kind of work for long hours, you start to lose concentration. So it's always good. It's always good to have a habit of, you know, like making an extra copy. So you will just produce the final output from the extra copy and keep the original source file inside another folder for safekeeping. So I'm just going to skip through this section, and I'll just cut it right through. I give it maybe a navy blue background. I don't really like this background, so I'll just try to go and post another color. And one thing, if you're using this kind of like magic wand section, remember it's only covering the section that is being selected. So like you can see from here, I'm just selecting the outer section to have a see of how the layout is, because I do not know whether I want to create shadows or not. If I want to create shadows, then I will do that. But at this stage right now, I decided not to create any shadows at all. As you can see, if I actually select a certain portion of it, and I'll just fill it up, it is not really what I wanted to portray. Because I still plan to print it on a navy blue t-shirt or a black t-shirt. You get what I mean? Because this dango, you want something to pop. So in order to pop, if you print it on a white t-shirt, it doesn't really brings out the look of it. So when I'm actually creating this artwork, I have another thing in mind, which is this. So I'm just going to give it this a little bit of like dark navy blue color as the base canvas. So once I have this base canvas, I see and I take a look, then yeah, it's looking alright. So what I'm going to do right now is just to give it a little bit splash of color, something like a contrast to the whole thing itself. I don't know why I'm going to delete it, but okay. Like what I said, I'm very finicky, especially when it comes to creating stuff. So that's why you always do a backup. Okay, so now I list on another layer. I'll just select some color. I'll just bring out some spray paint. Make a different nozzle, very basic nozzle. I'll check out and see whether I like this nozzle or not. If I don't like it, I'll just go and switch again. I think this one looks nice, so maybe I'll just try it out. Okay, giving a very different look. You know, like just misting on the area. I will see whether does it accommodate the whole up piece or not. And I decided to give it like, you know, like a one slash look. You know, like it's like universe. Maybe a space dango for no reason. I don't know. I'll just do it as I see fit. You know, because sometimes for creative process, you don't really think so much. You need to let your creativity flow. Because if you're thinking too much, you always tends to overthink it. So I just bring it this way. I'll just do some splashes here and there. You know, like mimic, you know, like the colorful personality. Just splash it around. Like I say, I do all this for no apparent reason. I just feel like the vibe is telling me this way. So as an artist yourself, right, try not to feel boggled down. That's most important. If you find yourself being boggled down by ideas, or you actually face a wall, you know, like, how do I say, a creative block, try to go outside and take a walk. Do some other stuff. Do some sports. Build some motorcades. You know, go with your boyfriend, girlfriend. Hang out with your family for a while. Yeah, those are things that you can try to do to get yourself out of artist block. I mean, that's normally what I do. I do play video games also. You guys can add me on SomaPod on my PSN. If you guys want to see me play games. But I only play in wee hours because that's the time when most of my guys have left the studio and I'm alone. Don't come visit me when I'm alone, you know. So practically that's what I do. I just give it some special color, and I think that once it's okay, I just drop in my signature and it's done. So I hope that you all like this video, and do let me know in the comments that you wanted to see more. So I know that you guys wanted to see more and I'll create more. You get what I mean? So remember to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I'll see you guys again really soon. SomaPod out.